Hi, and welcome to our 10th mental chat. We have done some ground together since the start of this podcast. In particular, we explored the 5 essential steps that you need to take to embark on your personal hero's journey and to improve your life in the process. Episode 3, the 5 elements to living a meaningful and successful life, if you missed it. Then we spoke on how to clarify the direction and desired destination of your journey by identifying what you want your life to be about and what is important to you. In other words, your values. Episode 4, Know Your Why. We spoke about the importance of listening to your emotion as they are your compass, and you will find that in episode 2, The Function of Emotions. Particularly, we looked at fear, as it is the ring that keeps you stuck in your comfort zone and prevents you from moving towards your values-driven goals. Episode 5, The Ring of Fear. We then learn to challenge unhelpful thoughts that are stopping you rather than helping you to progress. And you will find the techniques in episode 6, Your Mind Creates Your Reality. We also explored the role of meds and discuss if and when they might be needed with psychiatrist Dr. Joanna Moncrief in episode 7, Are We All Chemically Imbalanced? Finally, we looked at the difference between the various professions you can choose from to help you and guide you on your journey of self-discovery and self-growth. Episode 8, Who You Gonna Call? So today, after a little detour to meet the charity MQ Mental Health Research, we are going to look at the single most important skill you need to learn and practice to bring it all together and translate it all into practice. Your power tool, if you want. This is the secret ingredient without which your purposeful journey risks becoming an aimless wandering. You want to know what that is? Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Alice. I'm the clinical director of Crossroads Psychology. With over 20 years of experience, have helped hundreds of people improve their lives. And this is the first podcast to show you how to apply the principles of scientifically proven psychological models such as CBT, mindfulness, and ACT to get unstuck. Because change starts from within. You're listening to the Mental Chats podcast. Welcome back. So the secret ingredient essential to clarify what you want your life to stand for and to be about, to really listen and understand your emotions so that you can guide your life with your values and not with fear. To distinguish between thoughts that help you and thoughts that stop you, and to be able to take practical steps towards your goal. It's a skill. And as such, it can be learned and it must be practiced to be able to master it. You have probably guessed it by now. The one and only skill I'm talking about is mindfulness. For those of you who have never heard of mindfulness, you are about to discover something that really has the potential to change your life. So what is mindfulness? In short, is a training of the mind. It trains the mind to be focused in the present and to become aware of everything that happens in and out of yourself, including your thoughts and feelings. Jon Kabat-Zinn famously defined mindfulness as the ability to pay attention on purpose to the present moment in a non-judgmental way. Let's break it down. Paying attention is different from being aware. I can be aware that I'm working, reading, watching TV, but I might not be paying attention to it. Mindfulness teaches you to be aware of where your attention is and to purposefully direct it to where you want it to be. Obviously, if you're planning a holiday, you want your attention to be focused on the future. Where am I going to sleep? What am I going to visit? Etc. If you're remembering times with an old friend, you want your attention to be focused on the past. But most of other times, what you really want is for your mind to be focused on the present. Research has shown that people spend on average around 80% of the day on autopilot. That is, when we are doing something, but our mind is somewhere else. If you think about it, 80% of the day, every day, that is 80% of your life you are not present to. You might be at work and thinking about home, or being at home and still thinking about work, or out with your partner but worrying about the kids at home with the babysitter. And so you are not as productive at work, you cannot relax at home, and you are not enjoying your evening out. You see the point? In clinical psychology, this is important for us as anxiety lives in the future. What if this happens and what if that happens? While depression lives in the past. Why this has happened to me, etc., etc. While in the present, right here, right now, most of the time, there is no reason to be anxious, there is no reason to be depressed. By practicing mindfulness, you can reduce your level of anxiety or depression by simply staying focused in the present. Our mind is a thought-generating machine, like a radio left on. This does not mean that all thoughts our mind generates are true or helpful. Actually, the majority are just ads and background noise. Mindfulness gives you the ability to see thoughts for what they are, just mental events that you can challenge, distance yourself from, or just choose. Episode 6 for a reminder: your mind creates your reality. Finally, to pay attention on purpose to the present moment in a non-judgmental way. Lack of judgment is an essential element of mindfulness. It teaches you to accept your life for what it is, rather than complaining for what it is not or should be instead. Seeing and accepting reality for what it is the first step to change what you realize doesn't align with you and your values. So to recap, you want to develop your mindfulness skills. First of all, to be present in your own life most of the time. How can you create the life you want to live if you're not present to it? Secondly, to learn to manage difficult emotions such as fear of change, fear of failure, of judgment, and other unpleasant emotions. Thirdly, to become aware of your thoughts and be able to choose them rather than reacting to them on autopilot. Now, we are not talking about not thinking, okay? That's impossible. Mindfulness is about observing your thoughts from a distance without being influenced by them, and choosing the thoughts that resonate with you and help you on your life journey. I'll give you an example. Let's say you have worked on your values and you realize that you would like to use your professional skills to make a difference in the world. And so you'd like to start a business that does blank with blank. The blank doesn't really matter. You fill the blank with what your professional skills are. The point of our example is that your mind doesn't like change and want to keep you in the comfort zone. So it goes, that's a great idea, but you cannot do that. You're not good enough. People will judge you. You will not make any money. You will lose everything you have now. And you're not experienced enough, pretty enough, young enough, old enough, and so on. And with all these thoughts come very unpleasant emotions and counterproductive behaviors like procrastination or avoidance. Now, by becoming mindful of these thoughts and emotions and of the fact that they are pushing you away from where your values would lead you, you can choose what to do with them. Let's say you decide that, okay, people will judge me and that is uncomfortable, but I can discard all other thoughts as they are just not true or just catastrophic predictions that might or might not happen. What you want to ask yourself next is, are you willing to experience the uncomfortable feeling of being judged to create the life you really want to live, to make your time on this planet Earth meaningful to you, to make your life stand for what you want it to stand for? And is that action you are planning a step in that direction? If the answer is no, then it's not your direction. But if that action is values driven, the answer is usually yes. And so you will need to develop the skill to be mindful of when fear of judgment sneaks in. Slow you down, make you procrastinate, postpone to a later or next that never comes. Because if you do not become aware of that fear and don't accept to feel some of it, if you try to avoid the fear, it is fear driving your life, not your values. And you will feel the fear. I can promise you that. As you're stepping out of the comfort zone, you will need to cross the ring of fear. We said that in episode 5. But with mindfulness, you feel the fear, open up to it, recognize it for what it is, the ring of fear. And you cross that threshold if that step takes you toward what is important to you. A little fear plus excitement is the direction. As long as you are physically safe, moving towards the life you want to live, and willing to take small, controlled risks to create that. So I hope I managed to convince you that mindfulness is a skill worth learning. It is actually the most important skill you can learn for your life and your well-being. And I know some people will think, oh yeah, I tried, I didn't like it, I cannot do it, I just can't sit still, or I was getting frustrated. Well, I've got some good news for you. First of all, you don't have to sit cross-legged for hours. Actually, you don't have to sit at all. There are different ways to practice mindfulness. You can, if you want, sit on a chair or a cushion, or a sofa or a bed, if that matters. Choose a focus of attention and keep your focus on it. This is called formal practice, and it is like going to the gym to lift weights. The only aim is to quickly develop the muscle so that you have it when you actually need it. The other way to practice mindfulness is the informal practice, and this means any activity done mindfully. So noticing where your mind is and bring it back to whatever it is that you're doing. Classic mindful activities are painting, walking, playing an instrument, writing, but any activity can be done mindfully. You can mindfully brush your teeth and really focus on the sensation of the brush on your gums, on the taste of the toothpaste, on the temperature of the water, and so on. Or you can take a mindful shower in the morning, or mindfully washing the dishes, or anything else. Just choose one activity a day or more and try to pay your full attention to it in a non-judgmental way. And if your mind wanders, that's okay. Actually, that's great. This is the exercise, because as soon as you notice that, your mind is already back. It is not possible to practice mindfulness wrongly. The more your mind wanders off, the more push-ups you are doing, the more you are exercising the mental muscle to bring it back. And if you get frustrated, be happy, as you have not only noticed your mind wandering off, but also the emotion of frustration. And you have the opportunity to practice making space for an unpleasant emotion. That is the exercise. Staying in the present, aware of the movements of your mind and of the rising and falling of emotional waves. There is really no way to practice mindfulness wrongly, as whatever happens, as soon as you notice it, you're being mindful. In the free resources on the Crossroad Psychology website, you will find some mindfulness exercises. The first one is the focus of attention. Then you have the mindfulness of thoughts and feelings and many others more advanced to choose from. Go and use them. Develop a mindfulness practice and a mindfulness routine, and you will see that with time and consistency, you'll become much quicker in catching your mind before it engages with unhelpful thought spirals, and much more resilient to unpleasant emotion when they will show up as you proceed on your chosen path. So, access the free resources on crossroadpsychology.co.uk. The link is in the episode notes. Let me know how you're getting on. And remember, it is a skill. The more you practice it, the better you get at it. If you think it's not working, it is because you need to practice more. So, I think I spoke enough. If you have any questions, please send me an email at mentalchats@crossroadpsychology.co.uk, and I'll see you next time. Bye! If you like this podcast, please leave us a review and share it with friends and family. This will help us to reach more people and improve more lives. You can also follow crossroads.psychology.uk on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. And because mastering scientifically proven psychological techniques is the most effective and fastest way to overcome the stress, anxiety, and depression stopping you from creating the life you want to live, please have a look at our free resources on the courses page of our website, crossroadpsychology.co.uk. Let me know your thoughts by tagging Crossroad Psychology on your socials. I'll see you online. Till next time, bye.